Hello, Cancers. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading, Cancers. Alrighty. You may be watching this video on Saturday, October 18th. The video is for Sunday, October the 19th through Sunday, October 26th. So, sending everybody lots of love and light. Let's get into it. Cancers. So as we're getting closer and closer to the end of this cycle, we had a full hunter's moon. It's also, I think it was called an ice cold moon also. It's a lot of different names for full moons. Make sure you want to pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your body because that could be giving you signs as well. So if you don't have a moon phase calendar downloaded, you can find them for free online. So start paying attention to your body. The moon is currently in Virgo. So let's get into it. Let's see what is going on as you're closing out a cycle. You should be resting. Like really should be resting, relaxing. I don't think that's going to be difficult for you all because you're, homebodies for the most part. I detach myself from anger and replace it with compassion. Detaching yourself from anger, replacing it with compassion, right? Okay, all right. Let's see what's going on here as you're balancing yourselves out. Trying to decide which cards I'm going to pick up because I have quite a few decks here, and I just want to make sure the cards that I pick up don't have any strange images. I gotta be careful because y'all know what I'm saying. Other readers, y'all know what I'm saying. You got some of the cards have images on. As nice as the cards are, some of the images are. Let me see. Let me use this deck here. I'll use the Good Karma deck. That's what I'll use this deck here, the Good Karma deck. All right, Cancers. I think these images are safe. Sending you all lots of love and light. But again, detach yourself from anger and replace it with compassion. First and foremost for yourself, because you all are ruled by the moon, right? And the moon waxes and wanes through each one of these zodiac signs. And so you could feel like one day from one day to the next, you could feel this way, that way, so on and so forth. And so just remember how to pour into yourselves. What sets you apart from every other Cancer? With your moon sign, right? Find out what your moon sign is and pour into yourself. So for instance, if your moon is, if your sun or moon is a Cancer, even though I'm talking to wherever Cancer is in your birth chart, Cancer rules fourth house of family and ancestry. Like a day on today, the moon is in Virgo. Right, you want to make sure while you're indoors and you're getting your downloads, tending to like tasks and stuff around the house. Maybe you're tidying up things. Maybe you're, doing some little work around the house, or maybe doing some work for your job, spreadsheets, whatever you're doing. That you're eating foods where it's not affecting your digestive tract, your intestines, that kind of thing. That's what it could affect, right? So I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just trying to tell y'all this is it could affect those parts of your body. So if you happen to be a doctor, great. Talk to your family members. Tell them, hey, look. Tell them about the moon phases if you happen to be one, right? Help them out. Hook them up. Help them out. Educate them, right? All right. Right. Each one teach one, right? So yeah, you can go online and download a moon phase calendar. So, and then the moon will be moving into Libra. Let's get it. All right. Here we have King of Coins. Yeah, somebody has a wealth of knowledge. You have a wealth of knowledge, right? And that's what you want to share with people. You all are pretty meticulous zodiac sign. You have a wealth of knowledge about a lot of different things, and this is what you can help people with, right? You're very wealthy. And so if you know something that could help somebody, share it. And I'm talking about in the physical realm. Like if you have a moon calendar, if you know that information and you say, okay, well, Today the moon is in Virgo. If you're watching it on Saturday, and it affects those parts of the body, and let's say you have a spouse or kids, or they could be away at college or live different space where you live, tell them, hey, today the moon is in Virgo. Fun fact. You can send them a text message, or if you're significant other or family or in-laws or whoever, fun fact. Just like those little things, you're basically sending that information out to people, in your list of people, and just saying, this, if you're feeling it, you could be getting some signs. You don't want to block the flow, where you're distracted by something you ate or drank. That could be blocking a flow of some information, some downloads that's trying to come in, right? Because you're distracted, right? So you could be helping someone, right? They may feel better after they release all of the blockages, through their waste, right? So encourage people to drink their water and all of that stuff, right? So yeah, the Magician, because they're confused about somebody is confused about something that they heard from a karmic couple. They're really, really confused about something that they heard from somebody, and it has them in the loop. They trying to be kept in the loop about something, and they almost confused. Like, okay, so you're detaching yourself from anger. You're replacing something with compassion. And again, whether you're wherever Cancer is in your birth chart, wherever, right? So take only what resonates with you. Take only what resonates with you. Because you could be just getting downloads right now. Right? You could be just getting downloads right now. Right? Here's the Sun card, right? Get outside and get some sun, right? Get outside and get some sun. Because it can even be, like a... you heard something. You could have heard something. And get outside and get some sun. So you can do cleansing. Do some cleansing. Even if you're just sitting outside, even if it's raining, the sun is lighting up the sky. Get outside and get some sun. Because something can be confusing, right? Here we have the Eight of Cups. So that somebody can learn how to walk away from things. So when you're getting caught, when you're being kept in a loop about something, that you can learn how to walk away, from some things. If somebody's keeping you in the loop, and you can learn how to just walk away. You say, okay, you know what, let me get some sun. So you can come up out of a depth of emotion about certain things. Because you're gaining secret knowledge. You're gaining some kind of secret knowledge. Here we have the Three of Coins here. I see you in a leadership position. See you in a leadership position, right? And in this leadership position, I do see you being really a part of the team. I see you being a part of the team, right? Because you are a compassionate leader. And you do know how to walk away from cold-hearted energies, right? So yeah, so you know how to physically walk away. I'm just trying to so you know how to physically walk away. So you want to also detach from that emotion of anger and replace it with compassion. And the way you're going to do that is get outside. Because remember, You're ruled by the moon, and the sun is going to not only help expose it, but it's going to help cleanse that energy off of you, right? So, like that uh, deep energy off of you. What I'm thinking about here is what's coming to mind is my immediate thought is a lunar eclipse, right? Because when we were in eclipse season, right? So this Eight of Cups here is the end. It's the death, right? Death is something, right? So this is saying this is where you're saying, okay, I'm going to finally walk away. And this is how you're going to learn how to finally walk away from things. When you're getting downloads, when you're getting messages, when you're in receiving mode, right? When you're in receiving mode is something that could make you angry, right? That it wants to come out. You're a receiver anyway, right? It wants you want to just reflect that anger, right? And say something, because the Magician card connects us to Mercury, the communication planet. So it's saying go outside and get some sun. Go outside and get some sun so you can walk away from these cold-hearted energies, right? Because you're a leader. You're a very compassionate leader. And so your compassion makes you angry. You're very nurturing, whether you're a man or woman, somebody's a very nurturing spirit, and it just makes you angry that people just are not compassionate, right? All they care about is just money. That's all they care about is just their wealth. Everything is a big transaction for certain people, right? And so that's why you're detaching yourself from anger and you're replacing it with compassion, right? Compassion for yourself, compassion for other people, because you are a leader, right? Remember also, water, the moon has an affinity with water also. So something, when you think about 8, and you talk about the death card, 8 is just significant because it links energies, right? So you're making the connection to, it's also connecting you with sacred sex. It's also connecting you with money. So something that should have been sacred, possibly. It could have been sacred sex, or just like a sacred connection, sacred conversations, anything that's sacred may not have been sacred, and people just being cold-blooded and cold-hearted, for money. And something was brought to light. Something was brought to light. So, but you are a leader. You are a leader. You're a very compassionate leader here. And so you have something in common. Here we have the Six of Swords here. It's disappointing when you're trying to transition. You're just passing on through. You're just trying to transition, trying to ascend higher, right? And you're recalling all your power, this right here. See, this person has all their swords with them, but you also have your ancestors with you as well. They also have your back too. Like this backpack here, they also have your back as well. So here we have the Five of Coins here, right? So it's disappointing that people who felt left out in the cold themselves left you out in the cold. Left you out in the cold as to what was being done behind your back. That's disappointing. And that's where you're saying you're detaching yourself from anger and you're replacing it with compassion. Everybody has a pick-me spirit in different ways, right? Some people want to be picked for a position in a workplace, right? And so what they be willing to do may be different than what you would be willing to do. Maybe you would be willing to sit up restructure your resume until 3 o'clock in the morning until you get it right. You're like, okay. Your eyes bloodshot red. You say, okay, finally, I got it the way I wanted it. Whew, I'm exhausted. Okay, now I can hit send, right? The next person may do something else for, the job. But somebody wanted to be a part of something, and they did something to secretly behind your back. And as disappointing as it is, source, now they feel left out in the cold. So that's where you're showing the compassion towards them, right? Yeah. So something that these two energies, this organization made somebody do something, and they really resented you for it. They really, really resented you for something that they were told. And you had no idea. Because you didn't look like what you had already gone through. A lot of people don't look like what they had gone through already, right? But something in you, you had a sixth sense about something. You have a sixth sense. But somebody at an early age, looking at your cards here, and I look at this as like kids who learn, like you take on other people's pain early. That's what this is. Like you take on other people's pain early. So that's why somebody doesn't look like what you've been through. But you're still sensitive enough to take on other people's pain. Like you carry a lot of people's pain on you, right? And so somebody almost felt like, okay, they want to be a part of something, but you're not taking on their pain. Like you're not seeing their pain. You're not hurting enough. So they decide they're going to bring judgment down on you, right? You're not showing them enough compassion after what they've been through. So here we have the Temperance card. So somebody may have sensed that you didn't know what was going on with them. You may have sensed something, but it may not have been like thundering that you sensed something that was going on with somebody. So it's like somebody did something to get your attention. So in this sense here, you're a compassionate leader, but in this part, somebody wanted you to be a part of a team, but you did not authorize something that they did behind your back. That's what this is here. But it's like you woke up when you realized that they did something to somebody else. So in a sense, this is where you're learning how to pour more into you so that you're sensitive enough to yourselves, Cancer, that you're not only picking up on when people are doing things to harm you, but you're also having enough to be compassionate towards other people, if y'all get what I'm saying. Sometimes you can pour out so much to everybody else that you forget, you neglect yourself. Because that's what this is. You didn't even realize that people were doing stuff to you, like something was so close to you that somebody was doing something to you until later. It was like it had like a delayed effect on you. You didn't even realize somebody was doing something to you. You had gone through so much, whoever you are. So now you're going to turn it around. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to start pouring into myself. That's why I mentioned, please download a calendar, find out what the moon phase is in. The moon on Saturday is in Virgo. You can be doing tasks around the house. Just like discipline yourself. On Sunday, it's going to be in Libra. It's an air sign. Get outside and get some fresh air. Even if you just take a drive somewhere. Or sit outside on your patio or your deck or something. Something where you're getting some air. Like discipline yourself when these moon phases. You know, if it's in a receiving sign, that's a earth sign or water sign, you're in receiving mode. If it's ascending sign, that's air or fire, out in the air, the sunlight or fire. You're taking some kind of action if it's ascending sign. We talked about that in the past. But anyway, so Somebody was basically like, you have more compassion for everybody else, but how come you couldn't see that they needed some? You couldn't see it, so they really resented you for that. Somebody very close to you was like, you couldn't see that they needed you. Right? When they were blindsided. They were blindsided. And so were you. And so they decided to bring judgment down on you because you couldn't see something from a higher frequency. Again, this goes to you now getting the message loud and clear. You're going to start pouring into yourself, so much so you're going to start disciplining yourself, getting out the house more, getting some fresh air more, going within your shell when you need to, but getting out and getting some air so that you can start paying more attention. So you can start paying more attention. Here's the Two of Swords here, so that you're not blindsided by things. So yeah, this is where you're detaching yourself from anger, and because I feel like your anger is coming from the fact that more like it's delayed. How come you didn't see something? How come you didn't pay attention sooner? That's where the rage, not even, I don't know if it's rage for somebody. That's where the anger is coming from. Why am I such a crab? Why am I in the shell so much? Why can't I discipline myself to get out more? So that does take conscious effort. To talk to people more, make phone calls in spaces where you feel safe, get out the house, gauge how you feel when you're around people, that kind of stuff. So this is a new you. This is a new you. This is where you're pouring into yourself to the overflow. This is where you're pouring into yourselves more. Because this energy was blindsided by two people that said that they love you. But they blindsided them like they wanted to fight them, but it was directed towards you. They were angry with you, but they came as somebody that you love behind your back to humiliate them, so somebody made them humiliate you. So somebody's a succubus. Somebody wants the best for you. Somebody misses you. Message from your ancestors. You have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations, their emotions, moods, and feelings. So this is it here. Somebody could have a young child or teenager or something. It's time to start pouring into yourself like never before and paying more attention. Start paying more attention. Young adult, somebody paying more attention so that you're not blindsided, because two energies angry with you are going to end up blindsiding this energy here if they haven't already. Remember, time is relative. Somebody really misses you, right? But you also have a succubus, right? That could be anybody. So your ex wants to return. See, this is what I'm talking about. Somebody's ex. It could be your ex. It could be somebody's connected to you ex. Somebody want to return. New love awaits. So dance around your home as if no one is watching. But I'm telling you, it's a whole new you. This is why we have a new moon coming up in Libra/Scorpio. So you balancing this thing out because you're saying, okay, I need to purge. I need to start having these sacred conversations. If you use kids or whatever involved, we need to have a sacred code language. We need to have a code word. If somebody is danger or somebody needs to say something, that they don't want somebody to know that you're telling somebody something needs to be sacred, right? So always bet on you. Always bet on you. Take your time to decide. Relax. Sacral chakra cleanse. Get out near water. Get out near water. Get out near water. You have a whole new attitude. Whole new attitude. Back straight. Walk away. You're healing from the pain that they caused. So you have the gift of precognition. This is foreknowledge. They regret lying to you. Yeah, sacred code language, between like parents and kids, to develop a code word, code language, those kind of things. If something's going on behind somebody's back, say the word, say something, a look or something, because sometimes people are so frozen, something in them just kind of like can't believe something happened. They just can't even wrap their heads around certain things. So mental health is just as important as your physical health. And sometimes it's not that it's something happened to them. They could be trying to tell you something for one of their friends. Like they could be saying, they went to their friend's house and their friends don't have any food in their refrigerator. They could be too embarrassed. You know how like sometimes kids will come and be like, my friend, they don't have lunch money, right? But they could be too embarrassed. I had to give my friend half of my lunch because my friend don't have lunch money. They don't have food. Those kind of things. Or my friend told me something and they told me not to tell anybody. But you have a good relationship with them. And so they're telling you. And so you go, okay, how can I help them? So it's time to heal your wounded healer. Time to heal your wounded healer. That's your Chiron. And you do need your time of birth for your Chiron. So this is where you're detaching yourself from anger. You're replacing it with compassion. Replacing it with compassion. So that is what I have for you. You're getting your downloads. But somebody humiliated them. And that was their way of getting a message to you. So but you were the intended target. Make no mistake about it, because it's going to come back to someone's ex. You were the intended target. The ex is the person. Okay, let's make no mistake about it. It wasn't their friend. It wasn't somebody else. It was your ex. Your ex is the culprit. Your ex and the organization and the other people that they're with, they are the culprit. Okay, let's be crystal clear. So, heart chakra cleanse. So this is how you're making the connection. This is how you make the connection. But somebody's child or children or somebody could not read between the lines. This is why as this moon is waxing and waning and you're learning your moon sign, and what sets you apart from every other Cancer is, okay, I'm not reading the signs. Somebody's not coming out and telling me something, right? That's why you get out the house. Then you go back in the house. You start paying attention to your surroundings. You start telling them, we're developing a code word. If you're not safe, tell me something. Like, what's our word? What's So, yeah, your ex wants to return. They're angry with you about something. They use somebody else that's connected to you, your child or children or somebody, and wanted to use them in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And somehow, people miss signs all the time. So whoever this is, could be your child, your bonus child, whoever. But somebody regrets lying to you. They don't even have to regret lying to you. Like I said, if you're the parent or the bonus parent, the onus is on you, right? That's the onus. So that's where you say that's why you're detaching yourself from anger. The onus is on you, right? Because sometimes somebody is in such shock, like, I can't even believe, like, how would I, what in the world? Like, how I'd get in the middle of something. So you have the gift of clairsentience. You pick up on others' vibrations, their emotions, and their moods, right? But the other side of that is the divine masculine side. That's where you take action. That's where you take action. Your mental health is just as important as your physical health. So you really could be sitting in it so long it can become toxic, right? Where you just overthinking it, over processing. So that's why somebody regrets lying to you about something, because they're taking it on like it's their fault. So you're balancing something out and purging. You're balancing something out and purging. The end of this month, October 31st, the moon would be in Pisces. Pisces rules 12th house. And this is a great time for you to say, okay, best practices. This is how people increase their psychic knowledge. This is best practices time. This pineal gland, right? This is where you say, okay, now I can close out a cycle. Like I said, Pisces rules 12th house. I don't know what your sign is in your 12th house, but this is where you say, okay, my third eye is now open. I just sharpened my psychic gifts in whatever area, whether it's you know what you didn't know, you smell what you didn't smell because something smelled fishy. You know you recognize a scent. The vibe, when the vibe is off, now you know the vibration of something. Whether you're vibing with people or not vibing with them, you sense now what you didn't sense before. Y'all get the point. All of those are clairs, right? All of those are clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience. And so we got a couple of other clairs out there too. Deja vu is another psychic gift. Is remembering the future. That's like you already know how something is going to end. So you already been there before. You're like, okay, I already been there before. That's why Source is saying somebody X wants to return, and that's where you're saying it's a no, because you already know how something is going to end. They already knew that you were going to say no. That's why they sent somebody else in. They had to humiliate them because they already knew you were going to say no. So this deja vu right there. Okay, so y'all got it. Y'all got it. So you're asking Source for clarity. That's the clair. That's the clair right here. This is deja vu. Let me make a connection for you. This is deja vu. You're asking Source for clarity, right? I'm not Source, just a resource, right? You're asking Source, higher power, for clarity. Your ex wants to return. You're saying no, but why, right? Because you have deja vu. That's returning to the future. You already know what the future holds. There is no future for you and your ex, or them and their ex. You could be with somebody who has an ex that everything is cloudy. It's been cloudy. Every time you return, it's just been cloudy. Nothing was ever clear. Always chaos and confusion. So you look for clarity in relationships. So you're like, I had their back in relationships and I kept getting stabbed in the back. I don't understand. That's not having clarity. Y'all get the point? So that's deja vu. That's a psychic gift. So the new love for you, if you're already in a relationship with a person, could be now learning your psychic gifts. That could be a new love for you. Y'all get the point, right? Your mental health is just as important as your physical health, right? So when you're saying my circle of people around me, we're there to sharpen each other. We're not there in competition with each other, right? I did a whole video on the other channel about incubus and succubus energies, right? So you're not even judging somebody who has a sex demon attached to them, but you better educate yourself, because anybody could inherit it from their bloodline. That's like basically judging somebody for being a single parent, or being, having a gluttony or scarcity mindset, right? Or those things. Like people feel like, okay, I got to go to the store and I gotta load up, like we're gonna have a shortage of food in the grocery stores, so I gotta go and I gotta buy 500 bottles of water and I gotta stock it up in my house because we have a shortage of water, and I gotta go buy all the toiletries in the store because just in case we're gonna need this, or I gotta prepare for some kind of major something going on. Like, y'all know what I'm saying? Like, some people have that kind of a mindset, and So Source is trying to tell you, you're learning how to, with your circle of people, everybody educate each other. It's not a competition. It really is not a competition. Somebody was trying to get your attention because something had happened to them where they were humiliated, and they feel like that was the only way you were going to wake up. You were too in your crab energy. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. Hopefully this is helpful. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.